Business is a game, and communication is the cheat code. In this video, I'm going to share with you 3 communication cheat codes I wish I knew in my early 20s. Cheat codes that helped me go from being overlooked and underpaid to becoming a top sales producer, a business coach for 7-figure entrepreneurs, and a partner at Southwestern Consulting. Here's what most professionals miss. If you don't learn how to communicate with clarity and confidence, you're playing the game of business on hard mode. You'll keep grinding and hoping your work ethic alone gets you ahead, but skill will always beat hustle if and only if the skill is communication. But there's a small group of people, maybe like you, who are waking up to this. The quality of your communication determines the quality of your business. I'm definitely not saying it's easy, but it's learnable. And like any good game, once you know the shortcuts and the plays, everything gets easier. Cheat code number 1, confidence. It is the fastest way to change how people perceive you. Most people wait to feel confident before they start acting confident. But in business, especially in sales and leadership, confidence is not a feeling you wait for, it's a behavior you choose. At Southwestern, we teach something similar on the mindset side of coaching. Your actions create your feelings far more reliably than your feelings create your actions. So here's a cheat code. You don't have to feel confident to sound and look confident. But when you sound and look confident, you end up feeling it. And there are really only 3 areas that you need to control: how you look, how you sound, and how you feel. But here's a twist that most people never realize. Your feelings are the hardest to change, but the way you look and the way you sound are the easiest. So if you want an unfair advantage before a sales call, a presentation, a difficult conversation, start with the 2 that you can control. To look more confident, fix your posture. Research in positive psychology shows that your physiology directly impacts your psychology and your mindset and what's going on in your brain. In other words, your body language doesn't just reflect your confidence, it creates your confidence. Lengthen your spine, relax your shoulders, and lift your chest slightly. You instantly change how people see you and how you feel about yourself. To sound more confident, increase your volume. This is one of the simplest and most powerful communication hacks. When someone speaks even slightly louder than average, your brain can actually perceive them as more credible. Their message feels more important. People can actually start to trust them more, and they start to believe in what they're saying. But when I coach clients, especially in communication, they think they're at a 7 out of 10. But the room itself, here's a 3 out of 10. So here's what I tell them. Add 10 to 15% more volume than feels natural. It won't necessarily sound loud to the listener. Although you may feel like you're shouting, you're not. And for the person that naturally speaks at a 17 out of 10, you know who you are. Your cheat code isn't volume, it's control. Dial it down so you don't overwhelm the team or the prospect. So if you change how you look and sound, your brain catches up. You begin to feel more confident, and people start to respond to you differently. This is why confident leaders get promoted faster. It's why confident salespeople close more deals. It's why confidence is one of the first cheat codes that we teach. Cheat code number 2, engagement. Most people think being engaging is what you say, but in reality, it's how you say it that causes people to either lean in or zone out. If you want to capture attention, influence emotion, and keep people with you every second, you have to use your voice like an instrument. This is one of the most overlooked skills in business and communication. And it's a difference between a pitch that falls flat and a pitch that moves people. Let's break it down visually. We call this the 4 quadrants of vocal variety. Quadrant 1, loud and slow. This creates authority. This quadrant commands respect. You use it when you want to emphasize certainty and conviction. So for example, here is what I know to be true. Use this to set clear direction, drop a truth bomb, close the sale. Quadrant 2, the enthusiasm, the loud and fast piece. This quadrant creates momentum. It energizes a listener. For example, this is exactly why I'm so excited to show you this. Use this when you're sharing good news, pitching a vision, celebrating a win. So quadrant 4 is soft and fast. This creates a level of anticipation. This one creates curiosity. It pulls people in. For example, and then something happened I didn't expect. Use this when telling stories or building suspense before a big point. And then number 3 here, soft and slow. This creates authenticity. This quadrant connects emotionally. It makes you relatable and sincere. For example, I just remember thinking, what if I fail? Use this when you're being vulnerable, reflective, or sincere. Here's a mistake most people make. They live in one quadrant, all loud, all fast, all slow, all monotone. And when you camp out in one quadrant too long, your audience tunes out. You lose your emotional journey. Your magic is in the shift. Great communicators bounce between quadrants like a conductor. They speed up, they slow down, they get quiet, they get loud. Not to manipulate, but to move people. So here's how you practice this. Step 1 is record yourself presenting or telling a story. Step 2, watch it on mute. Notice your posture, notice your gestures. And step 3 is watch it with your back turned, so you're actually not seeing your posture. Focus only on your vocal tone and your rhythm. Step 4 is just play it back on normal speed. Now assess. Did I shift quadrants? Did I move the audience? This is how pros train. And it's how you go from flat communicator to magnetic. You don't have to be loud to be powerful. You don't have to be funny to be engaging, but you do have to move people with your voice. Communication is a transference of emotion, and vocal variety is the vehicle. Cheat code number 3, connection. There is such a big difference between hearing and actually listening. And most people, they don't listen. They pause long enough to reload their next point, and they miss the real opportunity to have a conversation and communicate. But when you truly listen, that's when communication happens. That is when influence happens. So how do you become that kind of communicator? Let me give you 3 easy steps. You can remember them with the phrase pause, reflect, ask. Number 1 is pause. After someone finishes talking, don't jump in. Pause for 2 extra beats. Literally, count 1, 2. It's awkward, but magic happens here. Most people, when given the space, will go deeper. Number 2 is reflect. Pick one word they just said, especially the one charged with emotion, and reflect it back. This shows them that you're tracking with them emotionally, not just logically. Number 3, ask them a follow-up question. Not necessarily a clever one, but a caring one. Something that shows that you're genuinely interested, not just waiting your turn. Now let's bring this to life with a real example. Oh, man, it's just been a rough week. I feel like I'm just dropping the ball at work and at home. Oh, I totally get it. Same here. Like the other day, I was trying to write this new module for a client, and my kids screaming in the background and the dogs throwing up, just total chaos. Anyway, just keep grinding, right? Let's try that again. Oh, man, it's just been a rough week. I feel like I'm just dropping the ball at work and at home. Dropping the ball? Yeah, man, like I'm letting the team down and I missed my kid's recital. Just feels like I can't get a win. It sounds heavy, man. What's one thing that would help lighten the load right now? Do you see the difference? In version 1, you're trying to relate, but it's all about you. In version 2, You're creating a space for them. One feels like a reaction, one feels like a connection. Here's the crazy part. When someone feels seen, heard, and understood, they naturally start trusting you more. And people buy from and follow people that they trust. So if you want to build deeper relationships with clients, colleagues, or your kids, pause, reflect, and ask. And if you want to level up fast in your business, don't just communicate, connect. So, what's the difference between people that barely get noticed and the ones that own the room, close a deal, and move people to action? It's not talent, it's not experience, it's how they communicate. Because when you learn how to show up with confidence, how to speak with engagement, and how to listen with real connection, you stop just being another voice in the noise, and you become someone that people trust, follow, and say yes to. And here's the truth. You don't need a new job, a new product, or another certification. You need to master the cheat codes of communication. Because the better you communicate, the better you lead, the better you sell, the better you live. So if you're ready to keep leveling up, I've got more for you. Click the link in the description, and I have a free communication framework PDF with the 3 cheat codes, clean and ready to use, and the 4 quadrants of vocal variety with a little bit more information for you to be able to dig into. I'll see you on the next one. Game on.